Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's class we will take a new name reaction, that is Wolff-Kishner reduction, and it is very important reduction reaction because in it there are lots of variations can be possible, right? And then we will take some questions from CSIR NET and GATE. So first we will take the general mechanism of Wolff-Kishner reduction, then we will see that how much type of variations are possible in this reaction. So the basic reaction is the reaction between the hydrazone of carbonyls in presence of strong bases, right? Then it will give us this carbonyl, or basically aldehyde or ketonic group, will be converted into methylene. Suppose we have this basic reaction. So first step is the formation of hydrazone with this ketone and hydrazine, right? This is hydrazone. In next step we are using a base, right? We have here sodium methoxide, or we can have triethylamine. Other type of alkoxides can also be possible in this reaction. So this base will first remove a proton from this nitrogen, right? So suppose this base is removing this nitrogen, so this bond will shift here and this will shift on this carbon. So we will get a negative charge on this carbon, right? Then it will take a proton from alcohol. It will take this proton and we will get this product. Again the base will attack on the proton of nitrogen, then this bond will shift here and this will shift here. So what we will get here, we will get a carbanion, and it will take again a proton from the alcohol and it will form methylene group here, right? So this is reduction of alcohol, aldehyde or ketone into alkenes, right? So this is the basic reaction, but the important point is the variation in this reaction. What are the other type of reactions can be possible in this reduction? So first is the reduction of conjugated aldehyde or ketone may cause shifting of double bond. For example, we have this type of structure, and first step is the formation of hydrazone. So in next step we will use this base, it will remove a proton from here. So when we will remove a proton from this nitrogen, this bond will shift here and it will shift on this carbon, right? So we will get here negative charge on this carbon, and here we have this one, right? So this carbon having negative charge will take a proton from ethanol and it will form CH2 here. I am directly writing it here. Then in the next step again the base will be used, and this base will remove this proton. You will have again negative charge on carbon. So this reaction involves removal of two protons present on nitrogen of hydrazone, and the same steps are followed in both type of removal. Then we have here negative charge on this carbon, then this negative charge will shift here and this will shift here, right? So what we will get here, we have negative charge here, and this negative charge will take a proton from ethanol and it will attach a hydrogen here. So what is the difference between the basic Wolff-Kishner reduction and this one? In this case, this negative charge is shifting here due to the presence of this double bond, and it can shift on this carbon, right? Otherwise, in absence of this double bond, we can simply attach a proton here and it will be reduced to CH3. But in presence of this double bond, we can see that this bond will shift on this carbon, and there is shifting of this double bond from this position to this position, right? So I have written here may cause. It is not always necessary, but you can have the product including a form after the shifting of double bond. Again in this case the same reaction will be done. What will happen, this double bond will shift to this position. You can try this mechanism by your own because this is similar to the previous one, so please try this one also. You will get this one as final product. Then next property of this reaction is carbonyl compounds having leaving group at alpha position. This one is very important, right? So whenever you have leaving group at the alpha position of carbonyl, the reaction will take place by a different manner. So first step is again the formation of hydrazone, right? We will get this one. Then base will act on this proton, it will be removed, and when it will be removed, this bond will shift here, this will shift here on this carbon, right? So what we will get here, the first step is similar to the previous one, that we will get a negative charge on carbon, then it will take a proton and it will form, so we will have this product. Then again the base will be used and it will remove this proton, this bond will shift here, this time this bond will shift here and this epoxide ring will be opened, right? So the last step is different than previous ones. This is due to the presence of leaving group at alpha position, right? So what we will get, we will get a new double bond here and this ring will open and we will have OH group here, and the side of attachment of OH will be similar to the side of attachment of epoxide ring. This will be your final product. This time we have Cl as a leaving group, so first we will form hydrazone, then we will use a base, this base will remove a proton, this bond will shift here, this will shift here. In first step we are not removing Cl because we have to remove this nitrogen, which is very good leaving group first, then we will do the removal of this Cl in next step. So we will get this one. In next step this proton will be removed, this bond will shift here and Cl will be removed. So we will have a new double bond here and CH3 group attached here, right? Next one, this is also similar to the previous ones, but it looks quite different, right? So first step is again the formation of your, this time we don't have any leaving group at alpha position, but it will also show properties similar to the previous reactions. So first step is the formation of hydrazone, then the base will remove a proton, this bond will shift here and this will shift, right? Again the base will act on this proton, this bond will shift here, this time this bond will shift here, this will shift here and the Br will be removed. So what we will get here, because this bond will break, this bond which is forming this bridge will break, so we can open this ring compound, this bridged compound, we can open this bridge compound and we will get methyl group attached here. One double bond will be there due to the removal of this bond will shift here and we will have a double bond here, and on this carbon we have this one present, right? It will shift here to form a double bond and we have a methyl group already attached here. So this will be our final product. Next reaction is slightly different. This time at alpha position we don't have any epoxide or any other leaving group, but we have this cyclopropyl ring which is highly strained, so we can open this ring to relieve the strain of it, right? So first step is again the same, the formation of hydrazone, then we are using a base, so it will remove a proton, this bond will shift here and it will shift here. Next we again use a base, it will remove this proton, this bond will shift here, now this bond will shift here and this will shift here to open this cyclopropyl ring. So this ring will become 7-membered ring. Initially it is a 6-membered ring and this is 3-membered ring. Now it will become a total 7-membered ring, right? This will be your final product. So all these are the variations in the Wolff-Kishner reductions. Next we will take questions from CSIR Net. First question is from December 19. So in first part we are using H2O2 in presence of NaOH. So we have here alpha beta unsaturated ketone. That is why we are not using MCPBA for epoxidation, right? Because they are alpha beta unsaturated ketones are electron deficient and MCPBA do epoxidation of electron rich double bonds, right? That is why we are using a H2O2 in presence of NaOH. So in this reaction you have to remember one thing which is very important, that this epoxidation due to H2O2 is not a single step process. for MCPBA is the single step process and it attacks from the less hindered side always. But this time it is not mentioned that what is the attachment side of the hydrogen present here. So we cannot predict the type of this decalene. Then next point is this nucleophile provided by this H2O2 will attack first on this carbon. This bond will shift here, this will shift here, and the attacking side is the less hindered side. Means this methyl group which is present above the plane will decide the attacking side of this nucleophile. So it will attack from the below the plane side. Or if it is given for the normal acyclic alpha beta unsaturated ketone, then the always you will get trans epoxide type of product, right? Because this is a two-step process. This epoxidation is a two-step process, so the rotation about the bond is possible during the reaction. So in this case it will attack from the less hindered side. So suppose this methyl will go above the plane, this will go like this, and here we will have a double bond. This is O minus. In next step this negative charge will come back to its position. This will attack here and OH will be removed. So what we will get epoxidation below the plane like this. Rest reaction is very simple that we are discussing so far, that is Wolff-Kishner reduction. First hydrazone will be formed from this ketone. In next step we will remove these two protons one by one. In first step when it will remove, we will get a double bond here and this bond will be removed. I am showing it here in a single step. If you have any confusion about the mechanism, you can watch the starting of this video where I have discussed in the detail. Right, in next step this proton will be removed, this bond will shift here, this will shift here, and this ring will be opened. Now the attachment side of OH will be below the plane and we will get a double bond here. So in option number, so the correct answer will be option number 2, in which we have this epoxidation below the plane, and after this Wolff-Kishner reduction the OH will go also below the plane. So the option number 2 will be correct option. Next we have question from June 2015. So this question is also similar to the previous one, this one. So again first we have to form hydrazone using this ketonic group and this hydrazine. Other parts will remain as such, there is no effect on them. Then we are using a base, so it will remove one hydrogen and it will go like this in first step. So what we will get here, we will get a double bond here, right? This negative charge will take a proton and it will attach one H here. Then we will again use the base. So this time this base will remove this proton and this bond will shift here, this will shift here, and this epoxide ring will open. So the OH group formed after the opening of this ring will go below the plane. So option number 3 will be correct, because in first and second there is no opening of ring, so it cannot be possible because it is simple Wolff-Kishner reduction. But this time we have leaving group at alpha position, right? So we have to form this type of product. And fourth is not possible because the side of attachment of OH is different than the epoxide ring. So option number 3 will be correct. So I will end today's video here. I hope this video will be helpful to you. I have tried to cover all the important part of this reaction. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like my videos, please share my videos with your friends.